I've said, they have a bunch of people now that live over there. It's like a big commune where they have been selling drugs at some point, but now they just have a bunch of bikers that they use to try to intimidate me, like they're revving their engines right now because they know I'm watching them, and they will try to like instigate the problems that we just had earlier. So, those types of things. Like I said, they've had people investigate me. Trump's been using stuff that I've said after they were investigating me. I'll have all of that on my polygraph test. I'm not going to take Trump to court because I want, obviously, like, I've been supportive of Trump and just stuff like that. I'm not even really a Democrat, even though he's mad at me for shit, and because they've been investigating me and telling him stuff that I said, trying to get, have him get help and whatnot. But, like, I'm more of a Democrat, but I'm like on the, I'm in support of Trump. So it's not, all this other stuff that people have done with him spreading around stuff and me saying stuff out of my phone, you know what I mean? Doesn't really matter any bit. But anyways, whatever they do is up to them, so I'm at my house. I'm not involved in any organization. I don't know nobody, they're all spreading it around. It's not my problem. I'm not like, I didn't like give my phone to someone, you know what I mean? So, but anyways, they had like some CIA type dudes or whatever try to do some weird shit like with Luigi and all that shit. Anyways, but I'm not involved. I'll have all this on the polygraph, but I'm debating whether like I should post it up and keep it up at least on public, but I'll probably do it on private. But I'll see how it goes. But at least for this type of shit, that like where they have been killing my dogs and harassing me, and she spit on my face today, so now they're gonna try to charge her, and they'll probably say that there's no way to tell if you were actually hit in the face, but they just don't want to deal with this stuff because she's been helping them. And because I had said the other day, well, because they've been hacking my phone, so I said the other day, like, why don't you spit in my face or whatever, and this is at my house. And I even said at my house, like, for him to come over and meet me and I'll whoop his ass and all this other stuff. So the cops all knew about it. That's why they came out with their guns and acted like he was about, the one cop acted like he was going to slip and fall or whatever, like the whole shebang. So it's just like, they will act like no one will believe me in court, but I could take him to court. I don't want to because, like I said, I support Trump more than I support the left right now. I am more of a Democrat historically, but I've only voted for Barack. Like every other one, I didn't really vote. And Trump, I liked Trump the first term too, so like I actually wanted him to win the first term. So I think I was trying to vote, but I never got around to or whatever. But I'm for Trump, so it's like they can't really frame me for shit. Whatever they do is up to them. I just said a bunch of stuff. If people say do what I said, you know what I mean, and I'm in my phone, you know what I mean, and it's like getting out there, it's not my problem. It's not some organization, you know what I mean. I just say give ideas of both sides, good or bad, just being fair. I really don't give a shit. It has nothing to do with anybody, don't be on my phone. You know what I'm saying? This is my private property. I'm not involved like that. They're all listening right now, the investigators that watch my channel and do those bots, but it's whatever. They know they lost. It would be like the craziest court thing, and Trump would be involved, and it would just be like bad for publicity. So I suggest you all keep it at a minimum and just go fuck off. Like tell Billie Eilish I love her. Or at least I want to have a shot to love her. Gotta see if she's really like how she is in real life, like in real life, but like, she's really the same way as normal, which I think she is. Like, she's pretty honest seeming, so, yeah. It's looking good. I just need to get somehow out of this fucking state. Got real tired of dealing with the cops around here, considering. So, years of abuse and them trying to set me up and follow me around to keep track of me and shit, So yeah, but But you know, I fucks with the whole thing in terms of like if you're really trying to help and I can really get out there and do some stuff, then I will. So, you know, no biggie. I'll like I said, get in shape. I'll do whatever and just try to be famous like SNL and the whole nine. You know, SNL's been using my stuff that I've been doing and trolling about. So, you know, it's been going viral. Trump now did the deal, you know. I'm glad that he did the deal, so but I don't know, I'm not gonna take Trump to court or nothing. I'm just you know, I might put it on a polygraph test, but it's not really gonna be like I'd have to do like a whole thing on trauma and whatever, and I really just don't want to do that. Like I said, he's doing a great job other than the trans stuff or intersex stuff, but stuff like that. But I mean, he's been listening to what I've been saying for the most part. Even though we don't agree on everything, he's been doing pretty consistent stuff, and you know, so I'm down with that shit. Pizza's good. Yeah, no, I've never did anything for the dogs. Never did
So I'll be on my private shit, man. Just don't try.
probably put it on private and just kind of go from there. I just don't want them trying to blame me for some shit because they spread around some shit. And I just said stuff like I'm not involved with Luigi or any of the forest fires, none of that shit that people on the right and the left were doing. So I'm not on any of the, Tim Kennedy's homies that like bombed up shit, Louisiana or whatever. None of that stuff. That fucking, bomb shit up, the car stuff and whatever. Jamie White, all that shit. I ain't with all that shit. So. Jamie's still alive though. They're just kind of fucking with me, but we'll see. I'm not a terrorist. They sit there and try to act like because of stuff I said or whatever, I'm gonna be some type of way and yada yada yada. Sitting there, fucking around, murking people, whatever. So I'm an actor, bitch. I can say whatever I want in the confines of my own home. You see any bombs in here? They literally were in my house and fed Rex fucking poison, bro. The cops looking for weapons and shit. I was trying to figure out who was the cops and neighbors. The cops were telling me with their faces and shit and the way that they act that it was them. So, but they all have my, thing to my house, like the, the key to my house. I gotta get the new locks on the doors now because the neighbor had it. Ouch! Don't bite me. She had it and then probably gave it to the cops or cops used it, gone in the old-fashioned way, that kind of thing. So that's why he gave a look when I said, he was like, your dogs look real good. And it's just like, he's trying to tell me to keep my dogs looking good. If you could see his face, because he was trying to say like, yeah, we were pissed off that you kept your dogs thin. Like, I don't keep them thin all the time. And even if they're a little thin, they're still oh, sweetie, it's okay, stop. I'm sorry, stop. Like there's no such thing as functional thin, but, so. But yeah, they tried to make me look crazy and all this other stuff, but it's fine. I'm not even gonna argue about that shit, because we all know what I'm talking about. They could be functional thin, it's not a big deal, so. If I'm gonna keep them thinner sometimes, but then I'm gonna make them thick again. So it's just how it goes. Sometimes they'll be thinner, sometimes they won't. That kind of thing. It's not a big deal, dealing with all these people and whatnot. So. But yeah, government is a bunch of bad motherfuckers, man. I'm telling you right now, just bad people. Sweetie, go over there and sit down. Bad peoples, My house isn't even that dirty. It's pretty dirty, but it's not that bad. It does smell a little bit like pee-pee in here, but because the dogs pee all over the fucking place all the time. But other than that, I'm about to text this girl. They literally have someone coming over and fucking me, bro, to keep an eye on me. Like, they literally have someone coming over and fucks me to keep an eye on me. Do you understand how wild that is, bro? It's monkey mental.